I work the night shift at a 24-hour convenience store just off a highway. Most nights are slow. Truck drivers, a few late customers, nothing unusual. But one night changed the way I look at security cameras forever. It was around 2:25 a.m. when the store went completely quiet. No cars outside, no customers inside. Just the hum of the refrigerators and the buzzing lights. I was behind the counter when I noticed something strange on the security monitor. The camera facing the back aisle showed someone standing there. A tall figure, completely still. I frowned and looked up from the screen toward the actual aisle. It was empty. I looked back at the monitor. The figure was still there, standing, watching. I felt a chill run through me. I grabbed the flashlight from under the counter and slowly walked toward the back. The closer I got, the more normal everything looked. Empty shelves. No one there. I turned around and looked back at the counter. Everything seemed fine. Then I heard the sound of something dropping behind me. I spun around. Nothing. My heart was racing now. I rushed back to the counter and checked the monitor again. The figure was gone. I let out a breath I didn't realize I was holding. Then the camera feed changed. Now it showed the front counter, and I saw myself standing there, but I wasn't standing still. On the screen, I was slowly leaning closer to the camera, smiling. I wasn't smiling. I stepped back in real life, but on the screen, I didn't move. Then the version of me on the monitor spoke, without sound, just moving its lips. I could read it clearly. "Don't look behind you." I froze. Slowly, I turned my head. The back aisle was no longer empty.
I used to babysit for a family that lived at the end of a quiet street. They had one rule they repeated every time they left. Don't open the bedroom door at the end of the hallway. They said it so casually, like it wasn't a big deal. So of course, I didn't question it. The first few nights were normal. The kids went to sleep early, and I just watched TV until the parents came back. But one night, I heard something. A faint tapping sound, coming from the end of the hallway. I turned off the TV to listen. Tap, tap, tap. It was coming from behind that door. I told myself it was just pipes or something in the walls. But the sound didn't stop. After a few minutes, it turned into knocking. Slow, rhythmic. I stood up and walked toward the hallway. The air felt colder the closer I got. When I reached the door, the knocking stopped. Silence. I stood there, staring at the handle. Then it moved, slowly turning. From the inside, I jumped back. The door opened just a few inches. I couldn't see anything inside, just darkness. Then I heard a voice, soft, childlike. "Why didn't you come earlier?" My heart dropped. The kids I was babysitting were asleep in their rooms. I backed away slowly, not taking my eyes off the door. Then it opened wider, and I saw something moving inside. Not a person. Something crawling, low to the ground. Its limbs bent in ways that didn't look right. I ran back to the living room and stayed there until the parents came home. When I told them what happened, they went silent. Then the father said something I'll never forget. "We don't have a room at the end of the hallway."
A few months ago, I moved into a new apartment. It was small, cheap, and perfect for living alone. Everything was fine for the first week. Then I started noticing something strange. Every night at exactly 3:03 a.m., my phone would light up. No notifications, just the screen turning on by itself. At first I ignored it, but one night I decided to check. When I picked up my phone, the camera app was open. Front camera. I was on the screen, but something was wrong. I was sleeping in bed. The camera was showing me from above, as if someone was holding the phone. I slowly sat up and looked around. There was no one in the room. I checked my phone again. Now it showed me sitting up, looking directly into the camera. But I wasn't holding the phone like that. Then the image zoomed in, by itself, closer to my face, and a message appeared on the screen. "I like watching you." My hand started shaking. I quickly turned off the phone and threw it on the bed. The next morning I checked my gallery. There was a new video saved, recorded at 3:03 a.m. I didn't want to watch it, but I did. It showed me sleeping for about 10 seconds. Nothing happened. Then from the corner of the room, something slowly crawled into frame and stood right next to my bed, watching me. I deleted the video immediately. But that night, at exactly 3:03 a.m., my phone lit up again, and this time, it was already recording.